In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a 5-point star like this one. We're going to start with square origami paper, but actually we'll be turning it into a pentagon. So if you happen to have some pentagon-shaped paper, feel free to skip ahead. Otherwise, you'll need something to cut with. You can use scissors, but I prefer to use this box cutter here. For now, we'll put that off to the side. Let's start by folding this paper in half to make a rectangle. Next, we'll pretend to fold this in half again. What I mean by that is fold it in half, but don't crease it entirely. We're only going to crease it on this right-hand side here. We're going to use this crease as a guideline for later. And now we're going to pretend to fold it in half to make a square. And just as before, we're only going to crease part of it, this bottom corner right here. Now we're going to use that bottom crease as a vertex for the angle created for when we fold this crease here up to the top edge. Okay, give that new edge a good crease, and then we're going to flip this over. We're going to take this flap here and fold it in towards the middle. We'll be using the edge that we just created in front as a guideline. Okay, give that a good crease, and then we'll flip this over again. Now we're going to take this edge here and fold it over to the opposite edge. And now we'll flip this over one more time and take that flap and fold it in towards the middle. Now this gives us all the guidelines we need for a pentagon, but actually we're going to do one more step to make it a little easier for us to build this star. So let's open this up, and what we're going to do is make sure that we have an alternating series of valley and mountain folds. So this is a valley fold here, and I'm going to pinch it together and fold the next one down. That'll be my mountain fold. Then I'll just keep doing this in alternation. And when you're done, as a check, you can look at it from the top and you'll see these 5 legs of a star or a pentagon. Okay, so now we're going to have to do some cutting. We're going to look through these flaps here and find which one has the shortest edge. And once you find that, you're going to cut a straight line from that point to the point exactly opposite from it. Notice this corner here is not opposite from it. You'll need to go down from that corner. For our purposes, it's not the end of the world if this isn't exactly 100% right, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And again, feel free to use scissors or whatever you have to cut the paper. Okay, so cut the paper and remove the excess. And if you fold the paper in half, you can see if you actually did a good job of lining it up. You can see I have a little bit extra there, so I'm just going to cut that and take care of it right now. Alright, so let's unfold this and take a look at our pentagon. Not too shabby. Okay, so let's start turning this into our star. So now we're going to fold it back into a triangle and take the tip and fold it down to about a quarter or a third of the way down from the base. This fold's going to give us some guidelines, so make sure you give a good hard crease on this side and actually flip it over and reverse it and give it a good crease from the other direction as well. So now we're going to unfold that triangle into the pentagon shape. And you'll see that by folding the tip of the triangle down, we actually created a pentagon inside our pentagon. Now we're just going to quickly fold the edges of that inscribed pentagon down to make them a little more bold and use those as guidelines for later. Okay, and now we're going to take the vertices of our pentagon and pinch them in, like so. Should happen pretty naturally, and we're going to fold down to the inscribed pentagon. And finally, we'll lay that flat. And as I said before, we're going to do this with each vertex of the pentagon. The first couple are pretty easy, but as you get to the third, fourth, and fifth, it'll take a little trickeration, so you might need to watch this part a couple times. By the time you get to the third or fourth, you might need to let it kind of unfold a little bit as you adjust the paper to make your creases. And you'll notice that while I can lay the points down flat, the paper in the middle tends to pop up. That's okay. We'll flatten it once we have all the points laid out. Okay, here we go. So now we can finally flatten that mess in the middle. And you'll see that it makes a nice little pentagon in the middle. So, like I said, that was the hard part, and you might need to watch that piece a couple times. Once you have it, let's flip this over. So we're going to take these points of our pentagon and fold them in towards the middle to make the points of our star. There you go, and we'll just keep turning this and creasing in towards the middle. For the last point, you'll have to lift up this flap here and tuck the paper in under it. And there you go, a 5-point star from Pentagon paper.